Welcome to Biz Lounge, where we'll give you a peek into the minds and souls of some of the greatest business leaders. Our guest on today's show is a man who lives by the old English proverb, where there's a will, there's a way. Patu Keswani left a high-paying job at the Taj Group of Hotels to pursue his own dreams of becoming a hotelier and started Lemon Tree Hotels in India. In a span of 10 short years, it's become the fourth largest hospitality company in the country. And today, Patu, as he's popularly known, is with us on the show. Thanks for being with us today.
It's a pleasure.
But before we start our chat, we'll take a look at the story behind Patu's ambitions to become an entrepreneur.
It all started here, in Patu's house, when he decided to leave his day job to become an entrepreneur. His vision was clear: to tap the mid-market hotel segment still underpenetrated in the country. What started out as an idea to build just one hotel has turned into a large chain. And this is where it began, his first office in his sister's empty apartment.
2002, I decided that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and that was a very random decision actually. I asked my sister, she owns this apartment and she lives in Bombay. I said, can I take this as my office? And she said, as long as you don't, change it too much. So all these walls are dry walls, because I promised her that when I leave it, I shall give it back to you in its original condition.
Today, Patu's ambition has taken shape in the form of Lemon Tree Hotels and has moved beyond this small office in the capital to 18 hotels across 14 cities. He's also diversified into luxury and budget segment hotels under the brands Lemon Tree Premier and Red Fox. By 2014, he plans to own 3,500 rooms across 16 cities.
So Lemon Tree Premier is a 4-star product with 5-star service. 1 step below that is Lemon Tree Hotel, which is a 3-star product with 4-star service. And below that is Red Fox, which is a 2.5-star product with 3-star service.
With funding from APG, one of the world's largest pension funds, the company might just be able to realize its aggressive plans for expansion. And if the tailwinds blow in the right direction, an IPO looks likely by 2014.
With the state of the economy as it is and overall tourism down, tell us why you're in expansion mode.
Well, typically in India, the supply of hotel rooms follows demand. So a lot of demand occurred, as you know, about 4 to 5 years ago, and a lot of people announced projects. And I think roughly 30 or 35% of India's supply was announced in the last, or is active in the last 3 to 5 years. As it happens, the economy dipped in the last 2 years. So the supply which is now coming in is actually coming in at an inopportune time, it's mistimed. But going forward, there's very little supply being announced. So my view is that if you want to be really successful in a business like ours, you have to be counter-cyclical. 3 years down the line, I think there'll be a huge shortage of rooms in India, and that's when we will open maybe another 2,000 rooms.
Why are there so few mid-priced hotel rooms in India?
Well, India is a very different market to the rest of the world. The cost of land is so high, and the cost of debt capital, that the incremental cost between a 5-star or a 4-star or a 3-star hotel is marginal in India. So most people who build hotels in India, because there is a shortage of rooms, opt to invest a little more and build upmarket or deluxe hotels. So India is unique compared to the rest of the world because they have an inverted pyramid of supply. 2/3 of the rooms in India are upscale or deluxe. So, as an analogy, imagine if 2/3 of the airline seats in India were business class.
Can you give us an idea of how the Indian hotel industry compares to other markets and some of the major differences?
Okay, so we can look at 3 markets. One is the US market, which is the most mature, then the global market and the Indian market. The US is the most cluttered market. They have about 180 rooms per 10,000 people. Okay. In fact, 25% of global supply of hotel rooms is in the US. The global average is 28 rooms per 10,000. The Indian average is 1 room. Okay, so India is 0.5% of the US density of hotel rooms. Our entire premise is that if we right price it, we should go at 80 or 90% occupancy. And that's the real bet we are taking. That if you put an enormous amount of supply in India, in the mid-market space, the supply will create demand.
So it's the mid-market range that you're betting big on. Tell us why you're bullish on your Lemon Tree Premium and Red Fox as well.
So the origin of Lemon Tree was that we would have a 2.5, 3-star product, and we would be half priced compared to a 5-star hotel, maybe a little over the guest house pricing. And we would try and give a trade-off to him where it made sense for a 5-star user to step down or a guest house user to step up. So the first hotel we set up in 2004, it did very well, but we found that the 5-star user and the guest house user had vastly different aspirations. Okay, so obviously this single product service combination, which was the original Lemon Tree concept, was not meeting the aspirations of both. So we looked at our business model again. We created Lemon Tree Premier, and the intention was that this would be an acceptable trade-off for a 5-star user to step down into. So typically a Lemon Tree Premier is priced at 60% of a 5-star hotel. Red Fox was created because we felt that the step up from by the guest house user, the requirements were very different to what the 5-star user wanted. And what I find even more amazing is that although they're paying 3,000 or 4,000 rupees for a hotel room, their expectation is of a 5-star. Because for decades in India, it's been a generic term, hotel equal to 5-star. So it's a fascinating market because I see that one of our big challenges will be to educate the new Indian consumer of hotel rooms as to what the various segments are.
Can you talk about one major change that you're seeing in travel and tourism in the current economic scenario?
I think something that every hotel in this company in India has realized in the last 2 years is the importance of the domestic Indian consumer, who's been traditionally neglected. So there are about 40,000-50,000 foreigners in India, and there are about 300,000, a minimum of 300,000 Indians. These folks are all potential consumers of hotel rooms, but only about 40 or 50,000 of them are using hotel rooms. Okay, we are not reaching out to them, or perhaps they feel that hotels are equal to 5-star and not affordable.
Right.
A lot of them who were earlier staying with friends, relatives, or in guest houses have now gradually started staying in hotel, and it's those folks in India who build a brand that appeals to, that has an emotional connect with them, who will be the winners.
Seems like challenging but exciting times.
Yeah, completely risky times. I love risk. I'm a junkie for risk.
We have to take a quick break, but stay with us for more with Lemon Tree Hotels, Patu Keswani.